Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're back. Probably just gonna get right into it. The title of the stream is like market confusion. What's going on in the final week of 2020? Of course, things are yet again confusing. So I'm gonna talk about that in a second. But for the 20 people already in here, make sure you hit that like button. Let's get to 20 likes right off the rip. Hit that subscribe button. Join the free trading movement. I don't know why I just point at my header. There used to be like this subscribe button on top of me, but also subscribe to the channel. Let me pop that up on the overlay real quick. Hit that subscribe button if you support the free trading movement and everything I'm doing. Appreciate the 15 likes really fast. But yeah, gonna go live as long as I can. We're gonna see how it goes, but literally been working. Music's a little bit loud. I could probably fix that. But yeah, I've literally been working from 9:15 a.m. That's not the song I wanted to play. Why did I even play? Sorry, apologies. Let me fix the volume. We're gonna get into it. Want to make sure everything's all good. All right, let's leave it like that. But yeah, I mean, I've been working from like 9:15 in the morning till 11 p.m. at night, maybe with like 1 hour in between where I eat and shower and stuff. But so I'm gonna try and be long as possible. But just working on a lot of stuff for the free trading movement. Discord's coming out on Friday. Website's coming out on Monday. Get ready for it. Follow at Free Trading MVMT on Twitter. If one of my mods can drop that in the chat, would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, putting a lot of work into it just so we can have the best product ready for the end of this week and the beginning of next week. But more talk about that later. Let's get into what happened today, really. Obviously, since I've been working so much on the free trading movement, I haven't been able to look at charts as often. Been trading a lot less. I have like the same amount of positions, but I've kind of just put my orders on them and I'm just letting them play out or not play out. We'll see what happens. But in terms of like the trades today, everything opened well, or most things opened well. And then with the Senate, I don't know exactly what happened, but with the stimulus, something like that, some rejection, you get the point. But the market took a hit towards the second half of the day. Didn't really recover, but it wasn't too nasty or anything. Some things took a pretty big hit. But we could talk about that after we finish up the day recap. HZO pulled back quite a bit today, still up 18%, place up 15%. SPI had a very good morning, but then it had a very good open, and then it immediately pulled back. It went from like $8.60 to like $7.90 right back to the entry. Actually sold SPI like $8.50, and then it went down to all the way to $8, and then it rallied up towards the end of the day. Who is this guy? No, McConnell is putting the 2K into a package bill with Section 230 and election integrity. So yeah, look into the news, keep watching it, because obviously it's a major thing, creating confusion in the market. There's just so many variables. We have one, the fact that it's the last week of the year. Fund managers and portfolios, stuff like that. They're really either selling big positions or planning for next year, and just I believe volume is slower than usual. Not only last week, but also this week. But yeah, I mean, there's not much of an edge on the technicals either, so the market really could go either way at this point. But again, you don't need to know what's going to happen. You just need to be able to react. So now I feel like the music is too low. Let me fast forward this song and see if the audio is fine. I don't know, I just did that. But yeah, I mean, other than that, we're going to go into Fisker probably right off the rip. We can talk about that. Keep hitting that like button. Let's get to 20 likes. Hit that subscribe button if you want to join the free trading movement. A lot of things coming very, very soon. Discord Friday, website Monday. And if you want to send me a tip, it's the pinned comment in the chat and the first link in the description. Remember, all this is for free. But if you want to send me a tip, first link in the description will be the place to look at. Why am I can't even I don't know what I'm doing. All right. So hopefully the music levels are fine. Let me know if it's not. Let's get to charting. Futures are up just a little bit, not too much. Put up the brightness, make sure everything's good. So yeah, in terms of the S&P, looking at the 4 hour right now, opened well and then closed. Green to red is pretty much what happened today. So other than that, there's not much to talk about. I mean, yeah, you have like this high as the support, this high as the support, but it really just depends on the news. So just keep watching the news and stuff like that. And then we can move on to Fisker, talk about that. Pretty violent selling again today. A lot of SPACs got hit hard today. I think that's just like a common trend we saw, but Fisker was down, I think, like 7% at the low of the day. And then I put out a tweet saying, look for the $15 support. That is pretty much exactly where it bounced. It went a few cents under and then bounced off that area very fast. went up to like 1550 and then pretty much close right around there. I think it fell a little bit after hours, like 1% or so, but I haven't checked back at it. What is up, BC? We need one more like 420 likes, so hit that like button. And yeah, Fisker, you know, 4-hour MACD is a little bit concerning for sure. There's no bearish divergence, but it just looks kind of, you know, exhausted, and you did not make a higher low. So if we go on the 1 hour, and this was like what the original trade, the short-term trade that I put out, you know, the entry was 1568, and then the, you know, take profit resistance area was 1750 to 1821. Those were just two major resistances. Posted it right here, I think like 2 days after I posted that trade last week. It went to the 1750 resistance that I showed in the trade setup, and then since then it's been pulling back. And unfortunately, what I was looking for on the chart was a higher low. Basically, I did not want the price to go under $15 or even at $15. I wanted to be, you know, probably not under 15.10, but with the selling today, it did go under that. So unfortunately, you broke the trend of higher highs and higher lows. There's just no way to deny that, right? So the 1 hour and the 4 hour, there's not much of an edge if I'm being honest. And the daily, a slight edge. You have this upsloping demand line, like this green upsloping line that was able to hold today. But other than that, I mean, you were really close, like literally 1 wick away from confirming hidden bullish divergence, and then the selling happened and the MACD went back down. So it was just so close, and then the market news and then the shorting, and you know the whole entire deal with Fisker a lot of the time. So yeah, stop hunt for sure. So the original time, like back here when I put out the trade last week, it was I think like 5 cents away from being stopped out, and then today it was again like 8 cents away from being stopped out. So this is why I use technical analysis. I was able to put a good stop loss on the trade, where not only the first time but also the second time the stop hunt could not get us if you were following my trade. But yeah, I mean, in terms of how I've been playing Fisker, I have my long-term position. I haven't really touched it too much. Average cost is lower than the price is currently, so just letting that sit for now. And then short-term position, I played the 1568 to 1750 trade I put out last week. I played call options on that. It was my biggest trade ever, like hundreds of percents in profit. And then I sold at 1750 last week, and then I think it was either yesterday or today I re-entered Fisker at $16. So I am down a few percent. I entered at 16. It's 1545. I even cost averaged on the way down. I actually got a decent amount added to my position when the price was $15.02. So at this point, I mean, the technicals were so close, but the sell-off today just really messed them up. Like, it did take some technical damage today for sure. It could keep on walking up this demand line, but if this demand line ever breaks, this upsloping green demand line with like a 4-hour candle close or a daily candle close, that's when you want to take caution. Again, as much as I love Fisker, when I'm looking at a chart, I'm never going to be biased. All I tell you is what's on the chart. So I love Fisker, the company, but when I'm looking at a chart, I'm never biased. If that green demand line does not hold, you have to take caution, because that is your short-term uptrend. That would put your short-term uptrend in jeopardy. So, you're just really hoping that somehow demand could come in and the shorts can stop. But who knows? Doesn't need a catalyst probably. But again, you just had the move from 1455 to 1750 without a catalyst, and I put out the trade on I put out a buy call at 1455 with the Fibonacci golden retrace support. So you just did have a nice move from 1455 to 1750, which I don't think a lot of people realize. And then I put out a Twitter thread today about, like, I see a lot of people are emotional about the very common short selling and just drops in the morning. You have a nice pre-market, and then in the first couple hours of trading there's a pretty big drop, and then it tries to recover throughout the day. It's been happening for weeks, maybe even over a month. Since like the SPAC days, honestly, that happened quite a bit. But like, people are mad about that, and I put out a thread saying that's like an opportunity. This is a trader versus trader market. So if there's like a high probability that day after day until that trend breaks, there's a morning sell-off, why are you buying up at $17? Why don't you buy when the morning sell-off or any sell-off happens? Like, I feel like a lot of people are entering when the FOMO starts on Twitter, like how there was at the end of last week, and then they get mad that this happens. But if you look at my trades that I've been putting out, the first entry was 1455 on the long-term trade. That's still in profit. And then the second entry from last week was 1568. That went all the way up to 1756 or something, and then it pulled back, and now it's only down like 1%. So why don't you just buy after the drop happens? That's what I'm trying to tell people. Obviously, it's not financial I don't know what I'm saying right now. Obviously, it's not financial advice, but I'm just saying in terms of like trader psychology, you can always adapt. So yeah, that's Fisker. I think I pretty much covered everything. Unfortunately, there's not too much technicals to look at on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. So you're just hoping that it can hold this demand line. That's pretty much all I'm looking at right now on Fisker. But that concludes Fisker. What else happened today? Oh yeah, Pfizer. I put out like another signal on Pfizer. It's not certainty, it's only probability, but I do think Pfizer looks good. The only question is, obviously it moves very, very slow aside from this sell-off right here. So it's been moving very slow, but all right, remember, Pfizer, you always have to keep the fundamentals in mind because there is going to be a lot of news, and there has been a lot of news in terms of Pfizer, literally because everybody in the world, not even traders, are talking about them because of the vaccine. So you have to keep looking at the news. Okay, before I even get into the technicals, you have to keep looking at the news. That obviously overweights the technicals, right? But if you're just looking at the technicals after the news and there's no bad news or anything like that, every single time frame on Pfizer is currently set up for higher prices. Every single time frame I'm looking at is bullish. So I'm going to show you the daily, then the 4 hour, then the 1 hour. There's already a trade on Pfizer. There's been a trade on Pfizer for like a week now. It's pretty much at the same price as the entry, like a few cents above the entry, so it hasn't moved at all. So yeah, you're at the 0.618 retrace. You have hidden bullish divergence developing on the daily, and you're at a major support, which was your previous resistance. So let me think. Hidden bullish divergence, golden retrace, and major support. Let's look over here on Fisker when it was at 1455 in a major support zone. It was at the, I did not mean to do that. It was at the golden retrace, the 0.618, and there was hidden bullish divergence developing. And what happened from 1455 on Fisker went to 1750. So very, very similar chart on Pfizer on the daily. Then if we go on the 4 hour, you also have 4 hour hidden bullish divergence that's really developing. It's probably 2 or maybe 1 wick away from confirming that and having a MACD crossover, assuming there's no sell-off literally tomorrow. And you're really holding this long. Look how many times it failed to break $37, and now look how it's trying to hold $37 as support. That's very similar to the Tilray trade that I put out, which was a 40% profit if I can find it. This trade right here. The Tilray trade with the gap fill, where you had the Fibonacci line and the major support at your 786. So the chart is very similar to other bullish charts I've seen play out, just like Fisker and Tilray. Where's Pfizer at? So that's your daily and your 4 hour. They look good. You have the divergence, you have the support, you have a Fibonacci level. And then if we even look at the 1 hour, which I rarely look at, you have a double bottom on the 1 hour, where 2 different times you've been able to pretty much bottom out there. Of course, it's not confirmed yet. You need to break that neckline for confirmation. Wait, what did I just click on? All right, can we stop this? Clicked on like a weird shape. Let me go to the, I'm gonna look at the chat in a second. I know I've done a terrible job at looking at the chat tonight. So just give me 1 second. I'll take a look at the chat, see what's up with everybody. But there you go, double bottom right here at around like 36.60 or so. And yeah, so the daily time frame, the 4 hour time frame, and the 1 hour time frame are all bullish based on technical analysis. But keep watching the news because that obviously overrides the technical analysis. And even if there's no news, it's only probability, it's not certainty. The support could easily break. It's right over the support. So there's very little room for error at this point. So that is Pfizer, that is Fisker. And I think that was a good start to the stream. Keep hitting that like button. We need 4 more likes, 430 likes, right? Yeah. So yeah, let me take a look at the chat. Drop some tickers in the chat, whatever you want me to look at. Matthew C, unfortunately, I can't really analyze XL. I put out a great trade on XL. It crushed my targets, and it, you know, went all the way up to $35. But unfortunately, I can't do much on XL because after the ticker change from PIC to XL, TradingView deleted the chart, and they have yet to update it. So really can't analyze XL right now, unfortunately. Great. Trade Assassin says, looks good. Great news today. 100 million doses bought by EAU today. So we'll see. We'll see. You have certain things lining up for Pfizer. Hopefully it plays out, but it's not, you know, it's not certainty. It's never certainty. Let me see what Guy in Hat said. Guy in Hat said, people on Twitter are really pumping GAN. Would love to see your thoughts. Inverse head and shoulders and looks like divergence on the 1 hour. We can take a look at GAN. I think it's been crushing it lately. I know you and Mitch Ray have been talking about GAN for like weeks now. So shout out to you too. Had like the fake out to the downside, then it broke out to the upside, which was a real breakout. there was like this symmetrical triangle, and it's just at that $19 resistance area, which was your support right here, and your resistance right here, your resistance right here. So it's trying to break that $19 level now. So obviously I believe you gotten at much lower prices than other people too, but it's, you know, down here was like the entry. Obviously I kind of missed this one, if I'm being honest, just because that did fake me out too. And again, you can never trade perfectly, and you know, I didn't lose any money on it, I just didn't trade it, which I obviously should have, but can't get emotional over that. I've been trading a bunch of other great things in the last couple of weeks. So yeah, it's just trying to break that $19 resistance. If it can break, then I mean the next level I see is right there, like 21.89. You do not have any divergence on the 4 hour. I think you said there was some on the 1 hour. I'll take a look at that. No divergence on the daily. So on the 1 hour, you do have confirmed hidden bullish divergence, where from, let me scale out a little bit, where from this low to this low, you made a higher low on price. But on your MACD and on your RSI, sorry, I'm trying to like use my mouse a little bit weirdly right now, just because of how I'm sitting. But yeah, on your MACD and RSI, you went lower in price on a higher low, or on your MACD and RSI, you went lower, but then your price made a higher low. So there's definitely confirmed hidden bullish divergence on the 1 hour. Already started playing out right here with that 11% move. This is technical analysis. Literally right when the hidden bullish divergence was developing, it made an 11% move in 1 hour today. Didn't even see that or know about it. So awesome stuff for GAN. It's just trying to break this level. If it can break this level, it could keep going. In terms of an inverse head and shoulders, something like that for sure. Regardless, to break out the inverse head and shoulders, you need to break 1910. So 1910, or pretty much just like the $19 level, is the place it needs to break for continuation to the upside. It's the make or break area for GAN. And yeah, it's GAN. Okay. We can take a look at PENN, Tesla, Rocket. I'll take a look at all of those. Let me just scale out. Alright, so let's take a look at PENN first. I know DraftKings had a bad day, but I put out multiple warnings on DraftKings when the trade was only down like 1%. PENN had a crazy one after breaking out of this range, but since it went to $100 pretty much, almost $100, it's fallen like $12. So it just went up to that psychological resistance area of $100, and it's just pulling back pretty much since then. The issue is you had a crazy run up, and you were not able to create like a real solid support. So you could create hidden bullish divergence eventually. It's too early to call it because you're not waning in momentum yet on the MACD. You're still going down on the MACD, and I just don't see a major support until like $80. So I'm not saying that it's going to go to $80. I'm just saying in terms of the chart, I don't see a major support until then. So more of a coin flip in my opinion, just based on what I see. Go on the daily. Yeah, nothing much there either, so not too much of a technical indicator currently for PENN. Already had a crazy run this year. And then we can take a look at Tesla. What are those levels from? I think that's from Fibonacci. No, those are actual support and resistance levels. So Tesla, I mean, if you've been in the stream for a while, I was showing Tesla right here when it was literally $387, $400. There was like kind of like an ascending triangle where you had the sell wall at 465. You had 4 different higher lows, and they had the S&P listing, and it broke out of the ascending triangle. It broke out of this all-time high, and it absolutely just crushed it. So your 2 supports are 600, which was your resistance right here, and 654, which was your resistance right there. And you actually look, if I zoom in, you broke over 654, and then you back tested it, and you flipped it into support for now. So if 654 can hold, the insane rally could continue, but if 654 breaks, that's when you take caution. So super easy to manage your risk because you know the levels. And then obviously resistance would just be trying to create like a new all-time high at around like 690 or so. No divergence though. Yeah, Tesla passed like all the major Fibonacci extensions. You could probably create new ones at this point. And you know, every single time if you would have charted Fibonacci extensions this year, Tesla would have pretty much broken them. So who knows when it will end? I have no clue. It could end tomorrow it could end in 2 years, in a decade. I have no clue, and there's no way to know for sure. You just need to be able to react to the levels. Those are your Fibonacci lines. The 1618 is like 707. The 1272 is like 677. So that is Tesla. We can take a look at Rocket, down I think like 1% since the entry of the trade, but I also put out multiple warnings on Rocket. A lot of people were hyping up the inverse head and shoulders when it was breaking out to the downside and failing. And what have I been saying about Rocket for literally the last 2 weeks? That it was not able to hold the breakout. It fell back under. It couldn't even hold this other technical breakout. And then what I literally said is if you fall under this down sloping green demand line, or yeah, that was your demand line. I said if you fall under that, you're looking at $20 next. Yet again, another correct call by me on Rocket, and I'm not trying to have an ego. Literally, there's proof of it. When Rocket was what high was it? Let me go back right here. It was from here to here. So when Rocket was right here on this high, there was some hidden bearish divergence that I went over on stream, and I said look for $20 next, and it went to $20. Then when Rocket was at $20, I said there's a major support there and a potential inverse head and shoulders, just like many other people did. And I said look for, honestly, I said look for 24, so I was a little bit off by that. It only went up to like 23, so I was $1 off by that, but it did bounce off that level. And then when I noticed it was not able to see continuation to the upside and it was failing to really break out, what have I don't know why I can't talk. What have I been saying on Rocket for the past week on Twitter and on stream? That your MACD looked exhausted. It was moving back towards red on the 4-hour and daily. It was not able to hold the orange demand line, and you could see $20 next if the green demand line broke. That's exactly what happened. So just using demand lines, support lines, stuff like that, I've been able to see where Rocket could go next. Now you're at $20. Super simple again. If you can hold $20, your resistance at this point, let me just delete these lines honestly. If you can hold $20, your resistance would now be $22.78. If you can't hold $20, your next support is really like $18.60. So those are your levels: $18.60, $20, and $22.78. So the official trade never got stopped out. I did exit my position on Rocket at like $21.80 or something. I just took like a few percent profit on it, even though the trade was up at 1.9%. But yeah, that's Rocket. Failed inverse head and shoulders, which I've been warning about for a minute. So hopefully you took that warning. Guy in hat said, I saw the divergence on the 1 hour and threw in a risky option and it tripled. Congratulations, Guy in hat. Yeah, that's Rocket. We can take a look at Square. Keep hitting that like button. Let's get to 40 likes. If you want to, join the free trading movement, hit that subscribe button. On the way to 1,400 subscribers. And if you're not following me on Twitter, that's where I post like updates during the day and stuff. So check me out on Twitter at Champion Vibe. Almost at 4,500 followers. So thank you for all the support. Let me know if the music's good. It looks slow. I'm really bad at seeing if my audio levels are fine. So hopefully the music's okay right now. Hopefully you can hear it. But yeah, free trading movement Discord's coming out on Friday. Get ready for that. We already got the mods in the Discord, making sure everything is flowing correctly. And then the website, which I've been working on like crazy, is coming out next Monday. So Discord Friday, website Monday. Just get ready. There's going to be a lot of good things coming out for the free trading movement. You can see the logo right now on the stream. Shout out to my boy Costas for making the logo. Awesome logo. And yeah, let's take a look at the chat, see what else we got in there. We can take a look at Square, and then we'll see what comes after that. Square is just obviously a crazy run. Looks like it was a rising wedge. Like, that's so weird. Like, let me see. Let's try it like this. See if that lines up better. No, it's weird because it tried to like break out, but it really couldn't. And then it broke the other line right there, right? So you had price consolidation to the upside, which is bearish. That's the rising wedge. Let me make that red. Keep hitting that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 40 likes. Yeah, I mean, I guess it broke out to the downside. It tried to break out to the upside again, and it looks like it just really confirmed a breakout to the downside. No divergence on the daily, and on the 4-hour, nothing there either. So yeah, the way I was looking at it on the 4-hour was like an ascending broadening wedge. Even that, it tried to break out, but it just couldn't. There was not enough demand, and it's just falling back in. So the next major support, let me just between like 192 to 184 is like the next major support. You do have like a little support right here. I could probably chart that at like 200, pretty much even. It was your high right here and your support right there. So yeah, there's not much of an edge in my opinion. It looks a little bit more bearish than bullish to me, but then again, it's square, and you know, with Bitcoin moving and stuff like that and how they are in Bitcoin, so just a lot of variables. They've pretty much been going up ever since the COVID crash. So I mean, one of the craziest rises of the year, from $30 at the lows to now over $200. Absolutely insane. So who knows when it will end. This could be the end, or it couldn't. Just remember, you don't need to know, you just need to be able to react. That is square. What else we got in here? T is right around the 200-day moving average. We could see that. AT&T. On my chart, it looks like it fell under the 200-day moving average. And there's no divergence on the 4-hour. There could be some hidden bullish divergence on the daily, but you only have one waning momentum wick on the MACD, so I don't know if that's enough. You want to see it develop more. And it's just really in this long-term channel between $27.39 and $32. Whichever way it breaks should be telling. Your 200-day moving average would be a resistance in the short term. But other than that, not much of a pattern and no divergence. So thanks for exploding my brain. Just go check out the free course on my channel. The link's in the description. You're gonna learn about everything I talk about within literally 1 hour. So go check that course out. A lot more educational stuff coming out soon with the free trading movement. You'll see on Monday when the website drops. So what else we got in here? We can take a look at IPOC. But obviously, as I said yesterday, it could go either way. That was pretty much my thesis on IPOC last night. And it just chose to drop, and then it dropped all the way to 1530 something. It filled a gap, and then after it dropped there, a lot of people bought the dip, and it went all the way back up to 1624. And again, there's not much you can do here. I mean, it's literally a straight line up. This is not where technical analysis works. The catalysts matter more, the merger vote matters more, the fundamentals matter more, the hype in the market matters more, the macro of the market matters more. This is not the place that technical analysis matters for IPOC. So I could try and use Fibonacci, whatever I want, but it's not going to give you a high probability edge. So that's why I really can't go over IPOC. In terms of technicals, you know, Clover Health has a lot of hype around it. It could keep going. We've seen SPACs run much crazier, but it already did have a crazy run. So again, in my opinion, it's a coin flip. But for people who've really been studying the company, doing their due diligence, if you like the if you like Clover Health and you want to invest in it, that's your decision. Of course, I'm not bearish on IPOC. I'm not super bullish on it. I'm just letting it do its thing. If it runs without me, good for the people who are in it. I'll have my own trades. If it falls, I'm not going to be taking the loss. I'm just letting it do whatever it wants. If it comes back down to a value area, I might enter it. But I mean, crazy run. You can't deny that. Great stuff. There's just not much I can do on IPOC right now in terms of technicals. Like if I was really trying to do some Fibonacci, like just for the sake of it, you already passed the 1618, and the 2618 would be like 1854 or something. So who knows? We'll see. Bad drop in the morning, filled the gap, and then bounced. Not much of any candle signal. It's just not too much for me to work with there. So just look more into the company itself. GoDuck says you're going to have a Discord site live stream. Not too sure what you mean by that. There will be Discord group calls. There's going to be one-on-one calls in the Discord. I don't want to say too much, but the live streams are going to stay right here on this channel. I kind of put out like a tweet today kind of showing like the difference between Champion Vibe and the free trading movement for the people who didn't see the tweet, because I know it can be a little bit confusing now that I'm talking about the free trading movement, but I'm not giving out too many details yet. Basically, Champion Vibe, everything's going to stay the same. Still going to be me streaming here every night. Still going to be me tweeting. The trade setups are still going to be through Champion Vibe. Everything I'm currently doing on Champion Vibe is not changing at all. And then the free trading movement is like, it's like the movement that I'm trying to create. I'm trying to create a community, a Discord. I'm trying to create a website that has educational resources, like the scheduling for one-on-one calls with me, merchandise, and a lot more things. I just don't want to say too much. I want to save some stuff for Monday when the website drops, but think of it as Champion Vibe is my personal brand, and the free trading movement is our movement. If you want to join the free trading movement, you can join it. Anybody can join the free trading movement. I'm just the one who's organizing everything and leading it, I guess. But yeah, the free trading movement is just like a movement, like as it is in the name. And it's going to have its own things, but it is going to be somewhat intertwined with me. There's going to be a whole page on the website about Champion Vibe, or me. Kind of weird to talk about myself in third person, but I had to like type about myself in third person on the website. But you get the point. They're different things, but there is a lot of things that are intertwining between the free trading movement and Champion Vibe. But we'll see in the next few days. I mean, you're going to see in the next few days. Scrooge says, well, at least I know I still can't figure out this divergence thing. Now I'll keep working on it. Scrooge, course video number 8 in my free course on my channel goes over divergence. Divergence just means that the price and your oscillators are doing the opposite thing. And then there's different classes of divergence, like classic bullish divergence, hidden bullish divergence, classic bearish divergence, and hidden bearish divergence. And there's even more classes within those classes. So that's where it gets confusing. Really, the idea of divergence is super simple. It just means that the price and the oscillator are doing the opposite thing. But the classification of divergence is what takes a while to learn. It took me about a month and a half to actually memorize it. But course video number 8 on my channel goes through it. Just rewatch it enough times and you're going to start to get the hang of it. But if you've been watching my streams, if you've been looking at my trade setups, divergence is like the #1 indicator that's allowed me to make a lot of profit. So I definitely love divergence. Although I always try to use it alongside like a pattern or a support level or Fibonacci, stuff like that. FSLY did break to the downside of a channel. I think it's right here. Yeah, not too much to go over on that. Broke out to the downside of this upsloping channel. Those are your support levels. Siri said got an IPOC after saw your alert, bought more, dip today. Yeah, so yeah, there was like that 1 week when IPOC went from like barely anybody was talking about it to like literally everybody was talking about it. I'm not the first person to talk about IPOC, but I was talking about IPOC at $11. A lot of other people are talking about IPOC at $11. So I did put out like an educational trade setup on IPOC. I didn't put out like a real one, and the educational trade I put out on IPOC hit the target and crushed it. But at this point, not too much TA to do with it. Geinhat says BBBY has been on my watch list, though, just in case it does break to the upside. Although a descending triangle is technically bearish, yes, it is bearish unless it breaks out to the upside. We can take a look. Is that Best Buy? No, it's Bed Bath & Beyond. So there's this YouTuber who I talked to a little bit, the Stock Watch all of his videos. Literally last night he put out a full 10-minute video on Best Buy. It was pretty interesting. Basically what he said was, the Google trend searches for Best Buy have been going up with COVID. They're like at super high levels. He thinks that it looks like a bull flag. I think it looks like a descending triangle, but regardless, however you look at it, whichever way it breaks out will be telling. If it breaks to the downside, you can see continuation. If it breaks to the upside, great. So however, I don't know which way it's going to break out, to the downside or the upside, but whichever way it does break out to, that should be telling. What else did he say in the video? But yeah, just look up the Stock Watch on YouTube, the Stock Watch, and his last video is literally all about Best Buy if you want to take a look at that. Yeah, KNDI crushed it this morning. We'll go to that after Best Buy. Not Best Buy, sorry, Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't know, I'm getting so confused. Bed Bath & Beyond. He made the 10-minute video on Bed Bath & Beyond. They also, I think in the video he said they have like a whole entire new management. They revamped their whole entire website to make it more, I'm not going to say millennial-like, but just more advanced, I guess. So yeah, Bed Bath & Beyond. We'll see what happens. In terms of the pattern, obviously your support is $18. You have a low you have a gap up from right here, you have a low right here, a low right there, and then this is your descending triangle or bull flag, whatever you want to call it. Personally, I'm going to go with the descending triangle, but again, it doesn't really matter. Whichever way this, actually I want to keep that demand line or resistance line. Whichever way it breaks out to, that'll be telling. If it breaks over this downsloping line, that's bullish. If it breaks under this horizontal line, that's bearish. So you don't have any divergence on the daily, but your MACD looks pretty decent actually. It's going back towards green. And I don't think you have divergence either. No, you do not have divergence on the 4-hour because you made a slightly higher low. But yeah, whichever way it breaks out will be telling. If you want to know more about like their website and their search results and stuff like that, the Stock Watch put out a video literally last night on Bed Bath & Beyond, so you can check that out. What is up with KNDI this morning? It went absolutely crazy. Where is it? Right here. I mean, it went nuts. Like, really. I don't know if there was news or what the whole entire deal was. But if you remember, KNDI was a failed trade that I put out, unfortunately. But I did put out a warning on KNDI when it was down like 5% or so, because it broke that demand line on the daily. And right after it broke that demand line, which I literally put out a tweet right here, right there, when it broke the blue demand line. Right after it broke it, it went all the way down here to 690. And then this morning, I'm not too sure why, there still was the hidden bullish divergence developing on the daily and on the 4-hour. Wait, no, not on the 4-hour. There actually is classic bullish divergence on the 4-hour now. Interesting. Pretty interesting. But yeah, you have classic bullish divergence developing on the 4-hour. You had the daily hidden bullish divergence. I'm not sure if there was news or anything, but this morning, it opened at 722, and the high of the day. Wait, am I looking at that correctly? Why is it not showing me the actual? All right, so it opened at $8. Wait, why is it not showing this correctly? All right, let me just do it this way. I'm so confused. I don't know why I'm getting so confused. Let me just look at the 4-hour. Okay, so it went all the way up. It gapped up a few cents, and then it went all the way up to did it gap up before the market opened? I'm so confused at what happened, because it's showing me that the open was $8 and the high was $8. So I'm assuming that it gapped up and then it immediately dumped back down. Am I wrong right there? But the candles are looking a little bit weird. But yeah, I mean, point is, it was $7 at close yesterday, and today at one point it was at $8. So it went up over 10% today, which was crazy. And then it gave away all those gains, had a very big bearish candle, and it pulled all the way back down to like $7 again. So it went from $7 to $8, back down to $7. I'm going to keep this on. It's already on my watch list. I'm going to move it up just because now you have classic bullish divergence developing on KNDI. So we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to put out another trade on KNDI, but I'm going to keep it on my watch list. We'll see what happens. Sorry for that confusion. It was just the candle looked a little bit weird to me. But that is KNDI. Keep dropping tickers in the chat. Yeah, BC pre-market gap up. So that's why I was getting confused, because it had like, there was a gap up, but then like it kind of filled the gap. So I kind of got confused on what happened there. We need 4 more likes, 440 likes. Hit that like button. 4 of you have not hit that like button, so just hit that like button if you support what I'm doing. Nightly streams, a lot more coming on Friday and Monday in terms of the Discord and the Free Trading Movement website. If you want to send me a tip, it's the pinned comment in the chat and the first link in the description. And I know I've only put out 1 new trade this week, which is Walmart. That's the only new trade. It's like, I think it's like the 20 cents in profit right now or something, but the only new trade I put out this week is Walmart, and I know that's a very long-term, slow-moving stock, so a lot of people that follow me are more like me, who are swing traders and want like shorter-term plays, but it just looked pretty decent, so I figured might as well put out Walmart with like an updated version, because I had the first version of Walmart and I kind of updated it. I'll go over that in a second, but haven't been putting out. This was the only trade I put out this week so far, and last week I put out like probably like 10 trades last week, or the week before last week I put out like 10 trades. Some of them are still ongoing. Many of them actually hit their targets. Ride hit the target for 20%, CBAT hit the target for 47%, XL hit the target for 33%, but eventually went up like hundreds of percent or over 100% and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, earnings, the holiday season, e-commerce, stuff like that. That's going to be all the way in February, so that's a while out. It's just trying to hold this demand line. It broke the original one I charted, but now it's trying to create a demand line right here on this green one. It's pretty much testing right now. You have 4-hour classic bullish divergence, and then on the daily you have hidden bullish divergence. So you have both of them showing seller exhaustion, and you're pretty much just hoping that that can take you to higher prices off of the demand line, and that's really what you're looking at on Walmart. So other than that, there's not too much to talk about. I know I haven't been putting out many trades. It's just like, again, I've been working quite a bit on the website and getting all that ready, like the Discord as well. So more trades will be coming out next week. Maybe if I see something good later this week, I'll put out more trades. Apologies for that. Just really trying to set things up so that literally starting next week, the free trading movement can be set up and I can just be in go mode, posting trades, streaming, doing calls, talking to people in the Discord, all of that stuff. I'm trying to get all of it set up, which is why I had a much shorter stream last night, which is why I'm probably gonna have a shorter stream tonight, and just why I haven't been posting trades. That is Walmart, the newest trade. The target I have right here is pretty much a bounce off the demand line is what I'm looking for on the entry. I got some call options for like the end of January today. And then the short-term target, which is probably what I'm going to be playing, is just in this resistance area between 150 and like 153. If it does break out of that, your 1618 would be around $160. So that's like a second target if you want it. But that is Walmart. What else we got here? Any thoughts on LCA? Not too much. Honestly, the merger vote is tomorrow. Thought it was today. Well, obviously it wasn't, but I mean, again, as I said last night on stream, I was looking at LCA back down here at 11. Unfortunately, did not get into a position on it. There was like classic bullish divergence on the 4-hour down there. There was classic bullish divergence. It was at the 200-day moving average at a support. It was right before the SPACs really started getting hot again. Kind of wish I took that position in LCA, but did not, and it ended up running all the way up here. And at this point, I mean, it's just trying to hold the previous alt. Let me delete the Fibonacci just so you know the Fibonacci levels. Your 1272 is like 2675, and your 1618 is like 2852. I'm gonna delete that for a second. It's trying to hold this previous all-time high, which is like 2520, as support, kind of close right above it. So that's really all I'm looking at right here. Your next support after that is 2140. So you're really looking for a bounce right here, or you could be headed to lower prices very easily. But there's not a major probability on the chart after that crazy run up. Merger vote got approved today, so they're merging tomorrow is what you're saying, or in the coming days, as most do after their merger vote. Take or change tomorrow. Okay, now I get it. We already looked at Tesla. You can scroll back and find it. Otherwise, the timestamps will be up after the stream. Thank you for 42 likes. Now, you know, I keep on upping like the likes goal for the stream just so we can get as many as possible, but it truly does help to grow the stream. So if you can't hit that like button, let's get to 50 likes. That's like my minimum goal per stream. I always want to hit 50 likes now. I do not want to get under 50 likes. So don't let me down. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button on our way to 1,400 subscribers. And if you want to send me a tip, it's the pinned comment in the chat and the first link in the description. That is LCA. Palantir, I think it broke out to the downside. It broke that demand line. I don't know what it did today. Down even more today. So I showed this on stream last night that it broke under this upsloping green demand line. It even fell under the 2528 support. So in my opinion, PLTR looks a little bit bearish. It just fell under two major supports. Could people be trying to buy the dip? Sure, it's not too much under 2528. It could have like a little fake out right here and get back over, but if it doesn't, really take caution, because then your next major support I'm looking at is like $21. So I'm not too bullish on PLTR. I think it already had a crazy run. I could easily be wrong. Obviously, pretty much all it's done is go up until right about now. So we'll see. But yeah, maybe, I don't know. Could you extend it like this? Maybe, but at what point, you know what I'm saying? At what point is it just broken out to the downside or not? We'll have to see. You don't have to know what's going to happen. You just need to be able to react. I don't know why I just switched charts right there. But that is PLTR. Alright. What are you doing? Trying to hit the undo button. That's PLTR. Drop some more tickers in the chat. We need 5 more likes to get to 50. Keep dropping those tickers. What do you want me to take a look at? Let me know. Yeah, I mean, if we come across anything that looks great on stream, I can make a trade setup live. Just haven't seen anything mega bullish in terms of the technicals. So let me know what you want to look at. SMSI. We can take a look at that. Smith Micro. On the 4 hour, there's no hidden bullish divergence because both your MACD and your price went down. On the daily, it could be argued, yeah. It could definitely be argued that from this island right here to the next one, you're creating or you're developing hidden bullish divergence. It's not confirmed yet. You did have 2 little red wicks, but whatever. Major support levels trying to hold. Pretty much right at it. Just around like the $5.30 area. It was your resistance right here. Resistance right there. Is that loud? It's a weird song either way. I really need to find a new lo-fi playlist. Alright, that's not too bad. Let me try and find something better to listen to. Actually, if somebody reach out to me about music and stream, I need to respond to that. This? How long is this? 3 hours.
What are you gonna do when hip hop goes?
That sounds a little bit better. Pretty slow, but whatever. Alright, sorry, I just want to get the music right as we continue through the charts. Hidden bullish divergence could be developing. It's just trying to hold this 530 level. You have some resistance right here at 587. After that, you're looking pretty much right there. So those are the levels to look at. If it really falls under $5, that's when I would say take caution, because then the next support I'm looking at, I mean, it's not too far away at all. It'll be 488. It's either like reverse right here and get a balance with the hidden bullish divergence and the support, or it could be headed to 488. If 488 breaks, that's when you really take caution. Under 488, I'd be a little bit or pretty bearish on this if it fell under 488. Then your next support would just be the 200-day moving average. Not much of a pattern either. So as SMSI. Yeah, I don't know. Just in the last few weeks, there's been a lot of bullish looking charts and the market was pretty bullish, and a lot of bullish trades were going up on my trade setups page. But right now, it's just a combination of, one, I haven't been seeing, you know, charts like how CBAT looked, like how XL looked, like how Fisker at 1455 looked. I'm trying to think of another one, like how Ride looked, like, you know, all those crazy trades that I put out literally last week and the one before. Just not seeing a lot of those where you have like multiple indicators lining up. So I never want to, you know, force myself to put out a trade. I always want to make sure if I'm going to put out a trade, I really do believe that it can go up. But really the only trades I'm looking at right now that really, you know, look like bullish are like the ones that move very, very slowly, like Pfizer and Walmart. So yeah, Pfizer and Walmart, I'm playing them with call options. That's not financial advice. I just tend to play the ones that move slowly with call options, just because I'm a more shorter term trader and I don't really want to make like 5% profit a month or something like that. But yeah, I don't know, there haven't been the same amount of swing trades coming my way that I've been seeing in the last few weeks. Maybe that just might be the low volume in the markets right now, or the fact that it's the end of the year. There could be a whole lot of reasons, stimulus, you know, just a whole bunch of reasons. And then also I just haven't been looking at charts as much as I have in the last month, because I'm trying to set up the website and the Discord and stuff. But next week, hopefully, I'll be putting out a lot of trades. And if something shows up, I would put out a trade on it. Just haven't seen too much. If you know something based on what you've learned in the stream that's, you know, really showing divergence, some major support, let me know in the chat. We could take a look at that. Keep hitting that like button. We need 5 more likes for 50 likes. This playlist is actually not bad. How do I follow this playlist? All right, I'm gonna try and start playing this if the rest of it sounds good. I like the beginning of this playlist. What else we got in here? CRSR And then I'll take a look at Tattooed Chef. I'll take a look at CRSR first though. Corsair. Whoa, down 9% today. I mean, it broke under the $36 support. Where is that from? That doesn't even look like a major support, so I'm gonna delete that. Looks something more like that. Yeah, I mean, it fell under 39, and your next major support is 32, just because it was your candle high right here and your candle low right there. No divergence. Not much of a pattern. Yeah, there's not too much of an edge on CRSR. It's just you know, one of those times where in the market, either things look bearish on charts, or they look slightly bullish on charts, or they don't have an edge on charts. It's just, there's not the same amount of super bullish charts that I have been seeing in the last month, just quite honestly. And then TTCF, because again, remember, technical analysis is just visualizing traders' psychology. So could that be implying that traders are, you know, kind of wearing off between, you know, Christmas week last week and New Year's week right now? Absolutely. So I don't know exactly what it is. There's like 10 different variables as to why the market conditions are just not the same. But basically, as we've been seeing in this cycle, most of the big bounces have been getting sold off, and most of the big sell-offs have been getting bought up. So it's just kind of, in the macro, it's still actually going up a little bit, but it's a little bit varying from sector to sector. This is TTCF cup and handle. Sure. The trade on TTCF was crazy because the entry was where is it on my daily chart? Maybe might have deleted it right here. I put out a buy call on TTCF at $15.28, but my targets were $18 and then $20 I posted on Twitter. So I put out a buy call at $15.28. Let's say not even the official target, but just like the Twitter target. That was a 30% gain, but TTCF really went crazy and it went up to 75%. I mean, I did show all the resistance levels. Literally, like I said, if it breaks one resistance, it can go to the next. And it did that twice. And then even kind of a third time, there was like this little resistance area right here. It was your high right there, which is why it was resistance. You had a high over here, over here, over here. So there was definitely resistance at 26.74. Crazy, crazy run. Could it continue? I know there's a lot of lines on my charts. I just want to keep them there in case a new trade shows up. Could be. This is like your rounding bottom where my mouse is going, and that could be your handle. So yeah, there definitely could be not much of any divergence. So yeah, I mean, keep an eye on it. If it starts pivoting and it breaks this mini downsloping formation, it could see higher prices. But again, what if it just keeps on dropping? You know what I'm saying? Just keep monitoring it, see if that handle really does form. I don't really know how you would even chart the handle. Maybe something like this. But again, like with handles, you don't want to see it like really just, you know, non-stop go down or whatever. So maybe that's like your handle right there on TTCF, but there has to be a point in which like it's no longer a handle and it's just really falling down. So just keep that in mind. On cup and handles, we could take a look at VLDR and Velodyne. I don't know I don't really think this one is the cup and handle. Again, Velodyne's another one. I put out a trade on this and the trade had 50% profit. So I put out a 50% profit trade on VLDR and it still went even higher. It went all the way to $30, which from like the entry of the trade was 147%. So obviously there's no way for me to predict anything could go up 150%, which is why we see a lot of these things just continue to run. But that's why you don't sell your whole entire position. That's why you sell most of it and then you leave a little bit to see if it can go higher. But profit is always profit again, but obviously crazy run. Cup and handle here, I don't think so, because your neckline would just be way too weird. This would be your neckline. I don't know how you would ever break out of that in the short term. Like, yeah, I'm not even going to chart it, but you get the point. When your neckline is really upsloping that heavily, it just gets hard to create a cup and handle. I mean, but if you're not counting the wick, like maybe you want to call it like something like this. If you're just using the candle body, then maybe, yeah. If you go from right here to right there, then that could be a cup and handle, but you're not even anywhere near breaking out the breakout would be like $29 of a textbook cup and handle, and you're at much lower prices than that, if I'm being quite honest. So it's just the cup and handle, you want the handle to be right around the neckline. You don't want the handle to be like literally like 30% under the neckline. That kind of just takes away the point of a cup and handle. You want it to be a bull flag. You don't want it to be a violent drop down on a cup and handle. You want that handle to be a flag formation, or you know, either like a mini rounding bottom, or you want it to be like an actual downsloping channel. You don't want it to just be a straight line down typically. I didn't think it happened. What else? VLDR, DADA is setting up for a nice swing. Thoughts on 50 plus in the next few weeks. We can take a look at that. So there could be hidden bullish divergence, but it's just taking forever for the MACD to cross over. So you're just waiting for that MACD to move back to green. It keeps on getting close and then it goes back down. So who knows when that'll happen. I've seen a lot of charts kind of do that. What I don't like about this though is it's under $37, which was your resistance right here and your resistance right there. You really tried to hold that support, but there just wasn't enough demand and it could not hold as support. And then really the next major support I'm looking at is 31.50. That was your high right here, and it was kind of your support right there, except for this little fall, and then it came. That was a crazy, oh my gosh, there was an inverse head and shoulders right here. Look at this. That was your left shoulder, that was your head right there, and that was your right shoulder. Once it broke out of the inverse head and shoulders, I don't know if there was a catalyst, but it went insane. Look at that inverse head and shoulders. But yeah, I mean, if the hidden bullish divergence confirms, great, but the question is just, will it? And you also have some hidden bullish divergence developing on the daily. So you have the hidden bullish divergence with a decent potential as long as it makes a higher low. You just don't have a support level or a pattern. So I you know, typically I don't only want divergence, I want multiple factors lining up. So that is DADA. Guy has says no idea what company this is, but HDSN divergence on the daily and trying to bounce off the 200 MA. Guy in Hat, are you the person that told me you just type in random tickers on TradingView? And if you try to look for good charts? I mean, I guess it works, but obviously you want to do your research on the company after you find the good chart if it's a random company. So yeah, typically I don't trade penny stocks. I really don't ever trade a stock that's under like $5. Just not because it can't work and not because there's not a lot of potential money to be made like that, just because technical analysis was really made for those higher market cap, high volume stocks, not a stock which is getting like 3,000 volume on 4-hour candles. So that's just why I don't typically trade penny stocks. It's trying to bounce off the 200-day moving average. You technically don't have hidden bullish divergence because this was your first low and it actually made a lower low. But you kind of have some local classic bullish divergence because your price has been going down, but your MACD has been going up. So it's kind of local classic bullish divergence. You don't have two islands or anything. You just have like that one island which has been going up. And then on the daily, yeah, well, technically on the daily it looks like you do have hidden bullish divergence. Let me see. All right, let's try and make it pinpoint. Your low right here was 102, and your low right here was 102. So yeah, no, that could be considered hidden bullish divergence because it was the same exact low with a lower level of momentum on the MACD. So yeah, it's not like super clear hidden bullish divergence, but it can be considered like kind of hidden bullish divergence for sure. Let me take that off the daily, and I'll chart it on the daily too. So, and then you obviously have the $1 psychological support, which is pretty much where it bounced off of, like 102. There's your hidden bullish divergence on the daily. Very, very pinpoint hidden bullish divergence. Not super clear, but it technically is there. I mean, not technically. There's like I don't know if it's class C hidden bullish divergence or class B hidden bullish divergence. I don't really know my classes on divergence right now. Still trying to learn that, but you get the point. It's not as bad as making a lower low. If you know divergence, you get the point of what I'm trying to say. If you don't, that probably sounded extremely confusing. And if you want to learn more about what I was just talking about, course video number 8 on my channel in my free course, link in the description. We need 2 more likes for 50 likes. Hit that like button if you support the nightly streams. 2 of you have not hit that like button, so just hit that like button. My minimum goal on every stream is 50 likes. So help me get there. Hit that subscribe button to join the free trading movement. Discord's dropping Friday, website's dropping Monday. And if you want to send me a tip, it's the pinned comment in the chat and the first link in the description. I know I've been saying those 3 things like a broken record, but we just got to keep expanding. You know what I'm saying? We got to make this free trading movement as big as possible. But yeah, major support level at 101. It was your resistance right here, and it's been your support this whole entire since August. So you're on the 200-day moving average, hitting bullish divergence at the 200-day moving average with a bullish hammer candle on the daily. I think Guy in Hat just found like the first true bullish chart I've seen in literally like 3 days, aside from like Pfizer and Walmart that move super slowly and stuff, in terms of like a new trade that's not already ongoing. So we were talking about this like 20 minutes ago, that I haven't seen too many charts that have multiple things lining up, but here you have divergence, the 200-day moving average, and a major support lining up, and a bullish hammer candle. So those are the things I look for on the chart. The only thing for now though is I don't know what this company is, so I might put out a trade on this company later tonight. But before I do that, and before I put myself behind it, I want to, you know, look at their website, look at their balance sheets, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, if everything checks out good, the technicals do look pretty decent, or really good actually. The technicals look great, but I need to see if this is actually a good company, because it is a $1 stock, and there obviously is a reason that it's a $1 stock. So I'll take a look at it, see if there's a potential trade lining up. We have another resistance right here. If I do make a trade, that'll probably be the target at 124. Yeah, I mean, just look how many times it failed to break 124. So if I do make a trade, the entry is pretty much just going to be right here, and the target's going to be like $1.24 if I do make a trade. But I have not yet. I need to look at the website. Guy in Hat does strike again. The amount of plays Guy in Hat has been given us. I've shouted him out on Twitter and on stream. And Guy in Hat on the website under the educational resources page, I made like a whole entire list of YouTube accounts and Twitter accounts to follow and subscribe to, and you are on that list, Guy in Hat. I put you on the website. I put a bunch of people there, but you are on the website, Guy in Hat, as an educational resource on Twitter. So you'll see that on Monday, or maybe before if you're in the Discord. So I'll probably let the Discord see the website early. But yeah, HDSN. I'll take a look at after the stream. Thank you for that. What else we got in here? We can take a look at X for sure. From BC, United States Steel Corp. So it broke out of 1564, which was your resistance right over there, and your support right here. It broke out of that, and now it's trying to back test it. It's not there quite yet. There still is another $1 to go, but it did go down to 1588 today. If X can create hidden bullish divergence, that would be great. Like truly, that would be awesome. There is no cup and handle, but it did have a major breakout and is trying to like flag right now. So you have the breakout of the horizontal line, you have a potential bull flag. The only thing I'm looking for is hidden bullish divergence. And you do have hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour. Okay, so let me line up this bull flag. So this one is super easy risk management. This is just another one. We were kind of in a drought earlier in the stream tonight where we just could not find any good looking charts. But Guy in Hat and BC are trying to you know, carry the stream tonight, where United States Steel Corp is creating a bull flag with hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour RSI and on the MACD, which means you made a higher low on price. Let's see. Let me read it from right there. You made a higher low on price, but you made lower lows on your MACD and your RSI. So shout out to Guy in Hat and what just happened? Shout out to Guy in Hat and BC for actually showing like the first 2 truly bullish charts on the stream. Scrooge, thank you for the $10 donation. He says, appreciate you. I appreciate you as well. Thank you very much for the $10 donation. Really means a lot. Really appreciate it, Scrooge. Thank you for all the donations you've been sending. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this on my watch list as well. I'm gonna look into the company, United States Steel Corp. Is that? I don't know. I'm gonna look into it. I don't want to say anything wrong right now. But shout out to BC and Guy in Hat. Guy in Hat showed us HDSN, the hidden bullish divergence at the support line, and then BC showed us X, the hidden bullish divergence with the bull flag. So I'm gonna try and line it up a little bit after the stream, and maybe if everything checks out, I'll post it on Twitter. So make sure you're looking at my Twitter. I might post a trade on HDSN and X. Thank you to Guy in Hat and BC yet again. Looks like the music stopped playing on the stream. Let me fix that up real quick. And we can take a look at shop. So let me just fix up the music. Right there. Alright, music's back. So yeah, HDSN and X I will be looking at after the stream. Thank you, Guy in Hat and BC. And then we're going to take a look at Shopify. Didn't have a bad day today, or yesterday. I had a bad day yesterday. Yeah, I mean, it got crushed yesterday. So Shopify broke out of this resistance zone, which was like $1,100 was the resistance. After it broke out of this resistance, it literally went to almost $1,300. And now it's come all the way back down. And go figure why Shopify is finding support right here, because that was your previous resistance from right here. So there you go. That is a support resistance flip. It's not confirmed yet. What is up, Danny? How are you doing? This is not confirmed yet. It still could fall under 1144 or so. But Shopify is super easy again. Either it bounces in the lower $1,100 range, which it's attempting to do right now, or like the mid $1,100 range. This box right here is where you're looking for, even at the top of the box. But either it bounces right here, but if it ever falls under 1100, that's when you take caution. Right? As long as it's over 1100, it's fine. But if it falls under 1100, take caution. But no divergence and no pattern on Shopify. ABC divergence on daily, also 200-day moving average. 4-hour oscillators are boring. Take a look at that. Very, how do you even pronounce that? Amerisource Bergen or Bergen Corporation?
If I said yes, I'd feel no. And if I said no, I'd feel yes.
Does that count as divergence on the 4-hour? I'll take a look. Yes, that is triple classic bullish divergence off the 200-day moving average. Okay then. So, do you also have divergence on the RSI? Yeah. Guy in Hat saving the stream tonight. BC saving the stream tonight. We could not find a bullish chart, and you guys are really coming through with the bullish charts. Again, I haven't looked at any of these companies yet, which is not why I'm not putting out a trade on them yet. I will look at these companies after the stream and potentially put out trades on them. But yeah, triple classic bullish divergence. We're even going down in price, but on 3 different MACD islands, you made a higher low. And now it's at the 200-day moving average. Let me move on over to the daily. Kind of looks like a falling wedge as well. On the daily, we have hidden bullish divergence on the daily. Let's go, Guy in Hat. This is why you're on the website, as an educational resource. Let's go. Hidden bullish divergence really developing on the daily, where from this low right here to this one you made a higher low, and your MACD made a lower low, but it's waning in momentum. Okay then, and it's also at a support level, or right around a support level. Right there, $95, major support. You kind of have like this little high right here as well, which is I guess what it's trying to hold. But really just this range right here. Probably just put a box on it. It's right right there. Yeah, this is like the support range right there. Make that a green box. Trying to bounce off of this support range. Your 200-day moving average is there. You have a horizontal support there. You have divergence on the 4-hour and on the daily. And if we go back to the 4-hour, kind of, yeah, I would say it's like a falling wedge where it might have actually just broken out. I'm actually going to line it up like this from that high. That looks perfect. Look at that. All right, so it's technically not broken out yet. It's really trying to break out right now, though. Yes, falling wedge. Oh my gosh. Guy in hat. What did I tell you? I told you this like a month ago or something like that. I told you right off the rip, right as you started dropping tickers in the chat, right as soon as you started DMing me charts and stuff, the first thing I told you was you have an eye for the charts. I knew it right off the rip because you know what to look for. And you've given us some great trades that have played out awesome. So here we go. 4-hour falling wedge at the 200-day moving average, which is also a support from right over here, was your previous resistance. Then you have triple classic bullish divergence on the 4-hour, and then you have daily hidden bullish divergence. This is 100% going to be a trade setup. So let's get some vibes in the chat for Guy in Hat for showing us ABC, and what was the other one? And also HDSN. And then let's get some vibes in the chat for BC showing us X. So let's get some vibes in the chat for Guy in Hat and BC. Really, you know, carrying the stream tonight because I couldn't find any bullish charts. I really haven't been looking too much at charts lately with trying to set up the website. And even throughout like the first or majority of the stream yesterday and today, I haven't really seen anything too bullish on the charts. But HDSN, ABC, and X are all looking pretty bullish. So again, I'm still going to look at HDSN and X just to, you know, look at the companies and see stuff like that. And I'm probably going to be posting them later tonight on Twitter if the companies check out. But ABC, it just has way too many technical variables, and it did have a nice macro uptrend, so that does mean that the company is doing something right for you to get an uptrend like that. So I'm not going to be showing you guys the potential trade setups for HDSN and X yet, but we still got 40 people in here. And do you want me to reveal this trade setup? Do you want me to set this up on stream right now? Let me know in the chat. We got a lot of vibes coming in from Scrooge, Max, Nicholas, BC, Dewaj, Cephasiane. I don't know how to pronounce that. Guy in Hat says I basically only chart during the streams and have much time. Cheddar Free says vibes. All right, so HDSN, the first bullish one we saw, and then X, the second bullish one we saw. I need to do some more research on them. But ABC has a crazy amount of technical variables. So, do you want me to set up the trade right now for educational reasons, just so you can get it early? Let me know. Do you want me to set up this trade? Type it in the chat. Say yes or no. If you don't want me to, that's completely fine. I'll drop it on Twitter later. I'm gonna sit back until you all decide. All right, give me like a minute. I'm gonna let you decide. Everybody talk to each other. Let the court make its ruling. Let me know. Oh my gosh. You're all crazy. The chat has gone wild. Look, how many people said yes? Guy in Hat, Max, Scrooge, Nicholas, Bala, Dewaj, Scrooge said it twice, Cheddar Freeze, Steve, Max, Daryl, okay, Davio. Alright, everybody wants to see this trade setup. Let's set it up. Yeah, let's get to it. Thank you. Shout out to Guy in Hat. Everybody go follow. You guys just saw that Guy in Hat just dropped us HDSN and ABC, which have very bullish charts, and I've been struggling personally to find bullish charts in the last few days. So if you're in the stream right now and you're not already following at some guy in hat on Twitter. I just typed his Twitter handle in the chat. Whoa, my music just glitched out. I just typed his Twitter handle in the chat. Go follow him on Twitter as a thank you for not only these 2 trades, potential trades, but also as a thank you for the multiple trades he has given us that have already played out and confirmed profits. So let's chart this. All right, so you know this is your support range. You know you don't want to mess with it under 95, because if it falls under 95, that's when you want to take caution. That's really your support. So I'm going to be showing this to you all so you can get it first before anybody else, but also so you can learn how I set up a trade. You know 95 is the level to hold, so you want your stop loss a few percent under that. So we're going to pull out the long position tool. I'm on the daily, right? Okay. Let me take that back. No? Okay. Give me a second. Move that right there, and let's zoom in a little bit. So we already talked about the support, the 200-day moving average, the hidden bullish divergence, the triple classic bullish divergence, the falling wedge, all the variables. Now that you've spotted all of the variables, now what do you do? What do you do? Do you just market buy it randomly? No, you set up your trade. You set up where you want to enter the trade, how much you're willing to risk on the trade, and where you want to take profits on the trade. So now it's time to set that up. So let me just move this back again. So the entry is pretty much right here because it could literally go right now. Why did I just pull out the Fibonacci? Come on, I'm choking right now. All right, right there. So the entry is literally right here. And then your stop loss would just be a few percent under 95. So let me just see what a few percent would look like. Make it something like that, and then bring up the entry to the price. So you're risking about 5% on this trade. Again, that's not financial advice. Honestly, I'd actually lower the stop loss just a little bit, just because there's some wicks over here. So you're risking about 5% still. You're risking about 5% on this trade. Again, it depends on your risk tolerance. That is very subjective. If you cannot risk 5% on a trade, you can find another trade. But you don't want to have your stop loss at 95 because there's a major support right there. And then how would you target it? Let's go back to the 4 hour. Let's take a look at the falling wedge. All right. Let's use some Fibonacci right there. See what that would look like. Maybe your 786. You also have a resistance right there, so that is your target. It looks like going for about an 8% profit, but the reward to risk is not lining up. You can't risk 5% to potentially gain 8%. That's not a 3 reward to risk. You're not potentially gaining 3 times more than you're risking, so we need to tighten the stop loss. All right, so let me put the Fibonacci away. So the target I'm looking at is a horizontal resistance. Look how many times it was failing to break 104 right here. It was failing to break that quite a bit. And then that's also right here, and it's your 0.786 Fibonacci retrace of the falling wedge. So the target that I'm looking at is $104. So now what we have to do is tighten the stop loss, because that's pretty much like a 1 reward to risk, and that's just not good enough. So we're going to raise the stop loss to pretty much 94.73, just inches below the $95 support, which gives you that $3 reward to risk. Honestly, maybe lower it just a little bit in case something funny happens. So you have a 2.75 reward to risk. You can lower that stop loss if you want to, and you're comfortable with risking more than 3%, not even. So that would be like the short-term play. Let me extend that. That's pretty much 3 reward to risk, so you know that you're standing to gain potentially 3 times more than you're risking on the trade, with an entry of 97, a take profit of 104, and a stop loss of about 94.55. That would be like the short-term trade. Well, what if it breaks 104? What are you looking at then? Well, if we really scroll out, we have a bunch of highs right here at like 106 pretty much. So I'm gonna put a horizontal line right there, scroll back out, and then second target literally just $2 higher than the first one. So second target would get you pretty much at a 10% profit. And make sure it all looks like it's lined up, and that would also be a 3 reward to risk. So if you want to hold it for the potential break of that, you can go for it. If you want to make like an extra 2%, if it does break 104, you're probably going to see 106. So that is how I would line up the 2 targets. It's not like a crazy like profit that I'm showing right now, that's 7% and 10%. But the technicals do look good, so I think there is a high probability that it can play out. You have a 3 reward to risk on both of these ones. And yeah, if you're looking for a 7% to 10% profit trade, potentially, not financial advice and it's not certainty, that is what I'm seeing here on ABC. Could it go higher? Of course, you could leave some of your bag there. But these, you know, the entry, the profit taking level, and the stop loss are all based on technicals. Let me just make sure that the stop loss is the same on both. 94.55. Let me lower that by 2 cents right there. It's 94.55 stop loss. And yeah, that is your, what just happened? I don't even know. That is your official trade setup on ABC. I will be posting this after the stream on my Twitter, but you all got it first, and you all got an explanation of like how I set up my trades and how I set up this specific trade. This is the same thing I do on every single one of my trades. I spend the 5 to 10 minutes on every single trade that I put out, lining up the reward to risk, so that I can potentially make other people more than they're trying to risk on that trade. But again, the profit taking, the entry, and the stop loss are all subjective. It depends on your risk tolerance. It depends on, you know, what the price does tomorrow. There's a lot of factors that can change things, so that's not set in stone. It's just the technical suggestion. Hopefully that helped, mainly in terms of education, but also this is a new trade setup that I'm going to be dropping right after the stream. So again, shout out to Some Guy in Hat. Go follow him on Twitter at Some Guy in Hat. Thank you again for ABC, and I might also potentially post HDSN if the company checks out, which I'll check after the stream. But there you go, a nice trade setup from Guy in Hat to end off the night, or a nice suggestion from him. I try to line it up, and I'm sure within the next few weeks he's going to be learning how to line up his own trades and stuff. So follow him on Twitter. And yeah, how long was the stream tonight? Pretty much an hour and a half, which is what I usually do. So I was only planning to go live for like an hour tonight, just because I still need to work on the website more. But we found some good charts thanks to Guy in Hat in BC. Wanted to go over them. And yeah, I think that was a great stream. Thank you everybody for hitting 50 likes. Keep hitting that like button on the way out if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you want to send me a tip, it's a pinned comment. I will see you tomorrow night at 9 EST, and I'll be tweeting all day tomorrow. Peace out. Have a great night. See you next time.